Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the AlteredConfusion Thursday Night Hangout. I, of course, am your host, Charlie. And I don't have any host today because apparently the plague has hit the entire co-host nation or something. Zelius has a stomach bug, I believe, and then Jason has strep throat. So here I am. So I already know that Sam Grizzle is in the audience. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the topic that Sam Grizzle brought up, which unfortunately I've not played any of it, but I have seen a shit ton of videos from Red Dead Redemption 2. Ironically, or unfortunately, all the videos that I've seen for it have been basically those like 1 in a million videos where the gamer gets foobarred. I mean, absolute just. One of them, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's see if I can actually do this. I don't know if I can or not, but to hell with it. We're going to figure it out. Come, let us try the best we can. Let's see if the sound will actually work on this or not. But either way, it's funny as hell. So let's see what happens.
Nice and easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moose. The moose for the win. Oh yeah, oh yeah. See, sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself. Other times, funny shit will happen. And so there you go. All you're trying to do is you're trying to get that rare horse. And then the moose comes and takes you the F out. Oh! That's not actually the one I was looking for, but it's still funny as hell. All right, so now that I've gotten those videos out of the way and means that I can't monetize, which I can't monetize anyways because I don't have enough viewers. So F that in the butt. Reviewers say the real cool, innovative thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 is your impact in the world feels real. Shoot a guy in the leg and come back a week later, he's got a wooden peg. Elder Scrolls can learn a lot from Red Dead Redemption 2, make the existence and choices feel more meaningful. So what you're looking for, Sam Grizzle, is you're looking for an open world adventure, Elder Scrolls-esque, but with technically. So there's a lot of games out there that give you those choices and decisions, and they should make a hell of a difference. Mass Effect 1 and 2. I'm not even going to get into Mass Effect 3 because I know a lot of people are still butthurt over the fact that there's only a couple endings. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but in life, there's only a couple endings that are going to happen. Either you're going to die, you're going to get cryogenically frozen after you die, you're going to find some way to replace all your body parts so that you become a cyborg, and then the robot war starts, and so you're no longer human, so you side with the robot side, and then shit gets real. But whatever. That's just my personal opinion. I was okay with the way that Mass Effect 3 originally ended. The only problem I had with Mass Effect 3 was the fact that in order to get 100%, you had to do the multiplayer piece, which I could care less about. I do not like it when you force a single player game to have a multiplayer aspect to it. It makes no money. I mean, no sense whatsoever, and you'll never get my money. That's where the money comes in. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, I've got to do the deuce. So here is the regular Monday, and then here is the Code Red Monday. Like I said, I am the only one on this show this week, so I guess the shackles are off. I am free. I have reached full. Oh God, what's damn it, in the anime, Helsing, Alucard reaches some kind of like release level ever so often, and I feel like I've gotten to the maximum release level where I am my own man, or host at this point. I guess I don't know. So yes, let's talk about a couple other things here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with the fact that, oh, what the hell? Let's talk about the craziness that is the wonderful, crazy-ass announcement at BlizzCon that has everyone up in arms. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you apparently were not paying attention. That, of course, is the wonderful game Diablo Immortal. Diablo, or Diablo, of course, the series that Blizzard has created and stabilized, and it's basically their baby. They decided that it is about damn time that we go mobile. Which a lot of people are like, aha, no. But, you know, it is Facebook. It is Blizzard's decision. As stupid as it is, in my opinion, yes. I am a purist. I am a diehard fan of Blizzard. I was not a huge fan of the original Diablo 3. I'm sure that it has gotten all pretty and awesome now, but on the initial release, I wanted to punch a baby, which is a line from Dane Cook before he apparently shot the bed or something. I don't know what happened to him either. But anyways, Diablo Immortal, a hack and slash mobile phone game in which you're basically playing a variety or flavor of Diablo. A lot of people have come out and said that they feel cheated, slighted, that Blizzard is basically taking the easy way out. I don't like. I mean, here's the thing. As a game reviewer, I can see the logic behind putting a game or an established franchise on the mobile platform. That makes total sense because, to be honest with you, more and more games are being put on the mobile platform because everyone has a freaking phone. This is kind of like the new revolution of, you know, we're to the point where console exclusives are far and in between. And so I understand it from that point. But at the same time, you know, having grown up with Diablo and Blizzard as a fledgling company all the way to what it is today, which of course is the behemoth that is part of Blizzard Activision, which I still am very curious to see who actually is the most important piece of that puzzle. Is it Activision or is it Blizzard? Because I seriously, absolutely 100% do not see that it could be a 50-50 split. I'm sorry, but I don't. So anyways, Diablo Immortal was announced at BlizzCon, and of course it was met with tons of boos. Not like liquor, but actual BOOSs. My favorite comment that happened from an individual who was at BlizzCon was, is this like an early April Fool's joke? Which, that would be absolutely funny as hell. Unfortunately, it's not. It's for realsies. They're going to come out with Diablo Immortal, and I know I keep basically going back and reiterating this, because it's Diablo to the console was a hard enough sale for me. But Diablo to the cell phone, Okay, fine. Sam, you bring a good point. There's boos and hisses. However, in the videos that I saw of BlizzCon, I didn't hear any hisses. I think the hisses are more reserved for witch hunts. instead of announcements that have people scratching their heads or going WTF or well, you know, what the fuck is going on? That's basically what it is. So like I said, I'm not 100%. No, I'm not. I will not play. I don't want to play Diablo Immortal. I might end up playing it, but the problem, I had a problem with Diablo going to the console. Now, of course, Diablo 3 just came to the Switch. I am very curious to see how that works. It might work, but I feel like Diablo to me is always going to be a keyboard and mouse game. It just feels right. A touch screen, a touch only game, I don't know how I feel about that. The other issue is that there is so Diablo is basically outsourcing this game in part to a company called, what's the name of the company? See if I can find the name of the company. Where the hell is the company name? I can't remember that. Okay, so anyways, they're sourcing it out to another company, which of course one of the big wigs at Blizzard's going, well, we like, I think is it NetEase? Yeah, NetEase. We like their interface. The way that they have everything put up there. Now, the biggest problem with that is that NetEase previously had an action RPG that a lot of people are accusing Diablo Immortal being just a reskin of their game. Now, there have been, if you want to, there's a ton of YouTube videos out there. You know what? Let's see if I can find one. There's a ton of YouTube videos out there that try to show a side-by-side comparison of Diablo Immortal and the all right, here's the video. The game's called Crusaders of Light. I am going to give you a little peek of it, and you tell me if this is just a reskin. So here we go. All right, so the Diablo trailer goes a little bit further, but basically it does appear on the surface to look and perform exactly like Crusaders of Light, which was NetEase's RPG from a couple years ago. And so, rightfully so, of course, you're like, well, you know, it just looks, it's just the feel. It's not just a reskin. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. I don't know if I will be 100% sold. But once again, I probably am not going to play this game. I'm sorry, Blizzard, but I'm not going to. What a lot of people have also stated is that there have been, when things don't seem right or they just don't feel completely 100% awesome, Blizzard has basically canned it. StarCraft Ghosts, Project Titan, and a lot of people are going, what the hell? Because this looks like shit. And you should probably can it, but you're not going to because it kind of looks like this game is going to be a haven for microtransactions. And I hate to say it, but it probably is. It's probably going to be one of those situations where where microtransactions are going to rule the day. And I hate microtransactions. And of course, once you open up that Pandora's box, the question then becomes is, are we now talking about a pay-to-win scenario? And that's something that nobody wants. Especially not me, because I refuse to pay to win. If you're going to make me do that, I'm going to play a different game. And Diablo or Blizzard, if you're going to make Diablo like that, then shame on you, my friends. Where is Zelius? That is a very good question. And I will reiterate what happened earlier, right as I was about to start the show. Basically, Zelius has a stomach bug, and Jason, the other individual who is our co-host, he has strep throat. So it's down to me to hold the show up with my mighty, amazing skills and whatevers. But that being said, to close this up, what does my short say? Yeah, I'm a Democrat, but I won't bite you. I could explain. No, I'm not going to. It's self-explanatory. If you live in the state of Georgia, why did you? Okay, never mind. Why? So here's the deal about the shirt. Oh my God. Okay. This is a statement that was made by the Secretary of State Democratic nominee. The gentleman's name is John Barrow. He's currently going to a runoff. Did I vote for Abrams? Yes, because she is not corrupt like Kemp. But if this is causing issues, then okay, here we go. This is for you, Demon. I will take off my shirt. I am not going to give you a striptease though, because that's way past my. Oop, that's my belly. There you go. Ta-da! Now it says Team Hawk, Light the Night. The T-shirt I got for supporting LLS. That's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Got another one under there? No, I only had 2 shirts, my friends. I probably have another one over there, but I am not about to. LLS. Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. My sister had stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and so as soon as we found out about that, I have been trying to help raise money to cure lymphoma. Anyways, okay, so let's talk about some other topics. I believe, if I'm not, I could be wrong because my brain is not 100% there. Let's talk about, excuse me. It helps if I can get to the right window. So, you just, oh my God. What was I going to say? Fortnite won't go to Android for another 7 months. We know. That's actually okay. So Fortnite has basically signed a deal with the NFL to add NFL jerseys within the game. Okay. Having played Fortnite and gotten scared, or I guess put in my place so fast that there's no way in hell I'm playing Fortnite again. I mean, I don't know how I feel about. I mean, more power to Fortnite. I mean, that's the deal. Red Dead is milking people into double dipping. Buy the Xbox version, and a year later, people buy the PC version. Okay, so if going off of that thought, you know, Microsoft is trying to create a streaming-based platform, and so what you would do is you would buy the Xbox version, and if everything goes according to plan, Microsoft is still under this idea of one platform unified. So technically, if it's a year later, you're going to have access to that if the streaming stuff works. Microsoft has been trying to figure out a way for you to have access to your Xbox library on your PC. Now, of course, the big issue in the past was that they were building it off the Windows 10 architecture. I don't know if that's still the plan, but back in the day it was. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition. But to be honest with you, okay, so to kind of go off this, the Red Dead milking people double dipping, I have triple dipped on certain games. I mean, let's case in point, Chrono Trigger. How many effing platforms does that game come out on? And how many effing platforms have people paid money to play the exact same game over again? I think I paid for it once. Did I? Did I actually buy Chrono Trigger? I don't know. Whatever. But basically any game from Supergiant Games, with the exception of Pyre, I will buy on every single platform I get my hands on. Transistor and Bastion, you better fucking believe it. I'll play those games over again because I love them. Pyre, on the other hand, falls short. A lot short. Still love the soundtrack. I love every single soundtrack made by Supergiant Games. But Pyre was just too repetitive and kind of bland. And so I was just like, eh. Sam Grizzle says, I don't care how they make money, but as a PC-only player, it's frustrating I have to wait, just so they can line their already loaded pockets. Well, to be honest with you, okay, so yes, they are lining their already loaded pockets, but at the same time, these games are fucking expensive, so they have to throw it out on every single platform. The reason why you might not see your game on several different platforms at the same time is an exclusivity contract where it's timed, where you have to, the company has to wait X amount of time in order to release it onto a different platform. Now, here's the crazy thing. Because Red Dead Redemption 2 was made for the Xbox One, it is immediately compatible with a Windows 10 machine. Now, the question is, what service you're going to be able to buy it from, and I would assume that Steam probably is going to be the service that you could buy it from, which if you can't buy it on Steam right now, that's a little weird, not gonna lie. But then again, it could be just a case of they're trying to iron out all the issues, which I don't know. Redemption. I can't spell redemption. So I'm trying to do shit on the side. Oh, that's weird. Well, no Red Dead Redemption is on Steam, so I guess we're all SOL. So, I don't know. Okay. So changing gears a little bit, there was a story that came out. It's more of a pipe dream. Like, oh man, this would be awesome if this happened. Basically, Brie Larson, the female actress that's going to be playing Captain Marvel, which I think is coming out in 2019, has stated that she would love to play the character Samus in Metroid. Now, I don't know if a Metroid movie is in the works, but please, for the love of all is holy, Nintendo, allow this to happen. Because Brie Larson would be, in my opinion, a pretty dead-on choice for Samus. Now the question is, if you're going to make a Metroid movie, what are you going to have in the movie? Are you going to have Mother Brain? Are you going to have, of course, Ridley? You know, there's so much. Why did I just sink? This is why I don't have anybody watching over me to go, what the hell? So I'm my own gatekeeper. But anyways, I find it interesting. I want to see a Metroid movie. Hell, I want to see a good, true to the game or universe, TV show, movie, whatever the hell you're willing to give to us. If you're going to make a video game property, I want to actually feel like it's true and it's not been Hollywoodized, because people might not understand it. So let's make it the title only a name, but we're going to take a lot of creative liberties to it. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to the gaming community. That's not nice at all. It's kind of like Dead Space 3. Dead Space 1 and 2 is a horror survival game where basically you're wandering around a derelict ship with the lights off, and shit's going to pop out at you at random intervals, and it scares the crap out of you. But Dead Space 3, they're basically like, you know what? Let's remove the horror part, and we'll just turn on all the fucking lights for the entire game, so you can see shit a mile away. Yeah, let's do that. No. But that's, of course, my own opinion. I have been called a purist many a times because I like the way things are. I don't like changes. Which is why I do not like online always games, especially when it comes to single player games. And I'm also adamant about supporting your indies, because indies can't get away with that shit of online always, because if an indie game is online always, you can find a game that's almost carbon copied the same game that doesn't have that requirement. Some of you might have noticed that I did play a game called Call of Cthulhu? I think it's called Call of Cthulhu. Let me double check here. Yep, Call of Cthulhu. And I'm going to have to say, right off the bat, a little bit creepy. The family that the game revolves around is a mysterious death involving the Hawkins family. For those of you who don't know, my last name is Hawkins, so that's a little creepy to begin with. The patriarch of the Hawkins family is a gentleman by the name of Charles. That's my first name, legally. So it's a little creepy to have to figure out what the hell Charles Hawkins is doing. because I feel like I'm stalking my grandfather. And I hope to God my grandfather is not making deals with the Deep One, also known as Cthulhu. And if you have no idea what Cthulhu is, you need to change that immediately. Immediately, right now. No, not right now. As soon as the show is over. No, right now, make a note and say, I must look up H.P. Lovecraft after show. Look up H.P. Lovecraft. The dude was ridiculously crazy, but he is the gentleman who really brought Cthulhu to the forefront. He's got a ton of other crazy ass stories. I was listening to the audiobook of, I think it was like H.P. Lovecraft, like 30 different stories, and some of them are wackadoodle crazy. And I think he wrote them back in like the 1920s. Oh, it was weird. Very weird. Speaking of those times, I don't have it. Give me but a moment. I have to go get a book real quick. Stay right there. If we want to talk about the time around Prohibition and all that stuff, then ladies and gentlemen, go no further than Capers. Capers, a superpowered game of gangsters in the roaring 20s. In the 1920s Prohibition era in the United States, alcohol is illegal. Organized crime grows at an unprecedented rate as gangsters get rich selling hooch to a thirsty populace. Law enforcement struggles to keep up with an understaffed and underfunded Bureau of Prohibition. You are one of the handful of people who have been gifted with superpowers. Will you use your ability to build a criminal empire as a superpowered gangster? Or will you focus your powers to serve the law and bring these criminals to justice? In this book, you'll find everything you need to tell exciting stories of action, adventure, virtue, and vice in the roaring 20s with superpowers. Highly recommend anything that Nerdburger Games comes out with, which of course is the brainchild of one Craig Campbell, which we've had on the Thursday Night Hangout several times. I highly recommend that you check it out. If you go to nerdburgergames.com, which of course I have now put it in the chat room for those of you who are tuned in live, nerdburgergames.com, and I want to make sure that that's the correct link, so give me but a moment. Let me make sure that I'm giving you the right find. Yep, nerdburgergames.com. This game, along with the games Mergers and Acquisitions, phenomenal game, and just to be absolutely banana crazy nuts, Craig Campbell's actually released yet another Kickstarter, which is currently going, and that, my friends, is the one and only game called Die Laughing, which is a much shorter game. But I will read the explanation for you. Die Laughing. Die Laughing is a short play, GM-less tabletop role-playing game where players portray characters in a horror comedy movie. Everyone's going to die. It's just a matter of when and how funny you can make it. Even after your character is gone, there are multiple ways for you to remain involved and influence the story right up until the bloody end. Die Laughing requires just a couple minutes of preparation to play. Players pick their characters and make a few quick choices. You pick a monster and you're ready to go. It takes 1 to 2 hours to play, depending on how many players are involved. It's a lot of fun. I've played it, personally. I like it a lot. And I think that it deserves as much love and attention as you can give it. Of course, as is the case with any Nerdburger games, it has already flown over the pledge limit. The pledge limit was $700, which you got to be thinking, but Charlie, how could it only be $700? It's got to be more expensive than that. The reason is Craig Campbell basically, instead of having to create an inventory for himself, he does all the printing through Drive-Thru RPG. And so what you do is you get a discount link to buy the game. So you'll immediately get the PDF of it, but for a discount, you can also gain the ability to print the game. And so, but the thing is, I highly recommend anything that Nerdburger Games comes out with. It's fun. I have beta tested. Excuse me. I've beta tested. I've alpha tested every single game this gentleman has come out with, and I have to say that I have been blown away and excited for every single game that he's come out with. So nerdburgergames.com. Check out all the games. Capers and Merchant Acquisitions. You could still get the printed copies of the books through Drive Through RPG, but right now there is the Kickstarter for Die Laughing, and of course that is going to run for 13 more days. So go ahead and get it today. He has added additional pledge levels. Originally it was only $10, but if you pledge $20, you can get the Die Laughing RPG and also get the PDF version of Merchant Acquisitions, which I, of course, highly recommend. Or you can pledge $30 and you can get the Die Laughing RPG. You also get the PDFs for both Merchant Acquisitions and Capers. Actually, I recommend that one more than anything because, like I said, the more games you can get from Nerdburger Games, the better your life is going to be. So do yourself a favor and do it now. Meow. Now. Let's talk about the concept of entitled gamers. And this kind of goes back to the Diablo thing, Diablo Immortal. But entitled gamers believe that the company that creates the games that they love so much, that the companies should bow down to the gamers. And in some ways, I can't disagree, because I feel like you have to be true to your core audience. However, at the same time, you, as with a business mind, in trying to look at it from a business point of view, you do have to consider the fact that that this company is trying to make money. And so in order to do that, they got to spread the love and try to get the game or the product out to as many people as possible. Now, the question is, do you dilute the product by trying to put it on too many platforms, or to make a much more watered down version of the game? Or, I mean, really, how do you... There's so many questions as to how to successfully make your game a winner, and there's no easy answer. If you have an established product, you're probably fine. Now, of course, in this day and age where games cost a shit ton of money to produce, even if you're successful, if you produce a bad one, chances are your studio could close. But with like a company like Blizzard, they can kind of test the water. I know a lot of people are like, well, what about Hearthstone? Hearthstone was out of left field. Hearthstone was a card game. It still is a card game. I hate Hearthstone. I hate it with a passion. I will not play Hearthstone because I feel like it's too much of a gambling game. You were talking about, it's all, your entire fate is up to how the cards are drawn. And that, to me, yes, of course, that's every single collectible card game. But with Hearthstone, I feel like there's not a lot of cards. So I feel like the stress level is much higher, because you could be royally screwed right off the bat, and your opponent, who you probably could wipe the floor with, gets like every single perfect card, and then you're screwed, and you're dead. But that's just me. Okay, so Blizzard has Overwatch. Once again, it's a new property, or newer property. It's their own thing they've created. Of course, now they have their Overwatch Pro League, which I think the buy-in is now $36 million. If you want to have an expansion team, which I'm sure it's now going to probably bumped up for $50 million for the next round, because I think they've already kind of locked into all the teams that are going to be there next season. Of course, Atlanta has their Atlanta Reign team, which I still can't find any additional information about. So I want to know more about them. I would love to interview them, if possible. But of course, My problem with Overwatch League, as I've stated a bajillion and 97 million times, is that I don't understand having location-based teams and having every single fucking match happen in a small itty-bitty little soundstage in LA. If you're going to have a team in Atlanta, then have some matches in Atlanta. Have a rotating spot where every team comes together. Now, of course, I know that we're talking about you know, we also have to talk about visas and you know, international travel and all that stuff. I don't know how to work that out. I'm not in charge of the league, but I'm just saying it would be, if you're going to have location-based teams, it should be a target to have some matches for your home team. Sam Grizzle says, I've read Rockstar Games never expected Red Dead 1 to do as well as it did. Thus, it was never designed or ultimately ported to the PC. Which is probably right. Now, of course, Red Dead Redemption 2, of course, being being already knowing that it's going to be successful and the hype is real and everyone's loving it, it does not make any sense where, okay, let me roll back real quick. Back in the day when Red Dead 1 came out, there wasn't an equal platform or architecture that the game was based off of. You had your console version, then you had your PC version. Now, of course, ultimately, like you said, it was ported to the PC because things had to change. Now, if it's on the Xbox One, you can immediately put it on the PC, okay? Because the vast majority of the world's got Windows 10, and so you're golden. And so I don't understand why you would not immediately have that game there. It's not. If it works well on Xbox One, it's going to work well on the PC. Now, of course, everyone's like, well, you know, instead of a controller, you got the keyboard and the mouse. Key mapping is not that hard, okay? And I have preached that from up on high, because the one thing that I did do when I was doing my final project at a place called Full Sail University, I was in charge of the key mapping. So I know for a fact, well, the controls need to change. Okay, yeah, sure, but it's not going to make a hell of a difference. Now, that being said, if you're talking about cross-platform, multiplayer, PvP stuff, where you have the PC versus the Xbox, then I don't know. Will I buy the PC version when it comes out, or console for that matter? I don't like. Okay, so let me correct something. Sam stated, you know, that I don't like FPS games. I'm okay with FPS games. I don't like military FPS games. It's just like Battlefield and Modern Warfare and well, Modern Warfare is actually Call of Duty, but whatever. I don't like. It makes me feel icky, which is a terrible way of describing it. But I'm okay with first-person shooters. A Halo, Gears. Well, Gears of War is actually a third-person shooter. Shit, I play Paladins. I'm sure that if I really wanted to put some time in, I could play. I could play. Overwatch, but the end result is that I just don't like playing like current time first person shooter games where I'm killing humans. I played Red Dead Revolver. Was it Red Dead Revolver? I had no problem with that. I kind of got bored with the fact I'm running through the damn like I don't know Arizona desert-esque area. It was not as bad as, what was that game called? Red Faction. Oh, dear Jesus Christ. It was the red, dirt, hilly landscape of Mars for 85% of the game. You're just like, okay. I want some variety when I'm going outside of... so, yeah. But I don't dislike FPS games. Now, will I get Red Dead Redemption 2? That's a very good question. I do not know the answer to that question. Chances are, if someone were to gift it to me, then absolutely I'd pick it up. I do not have a lot of money to put towards games. The vast majority of the games that you see me play have either been gifted or I have a review code for, so I can review games. Now, yes, I understand. Altered Confusion has not done a lot of reviews this year, and there's a reason behind that, and I'm sure that it's on one of the YouTube videos that I've shown. So, but if you need more information, of course, you can hit me up outside the show and I'll explain it. But speaking of ways to hit up Altered Confusion, of course, you can go to our Facebook page, which is just go to Facebook, go in the search bar and put Altered Confusion. CD Keys, my friend, games on the cheap. If you want to check us out on YouTube, that's Altered Confusion LLC. I've just uploaded every single Thursday night hangout. I have not published it yet, but they're all up there. Of course, if you want to tune into, if you want to see the, or not see, but if you want to listen to the audio version of any of the Thursday night hangouts, you of course can go to the Apple podcast store and just search for Altered Confusion. You can pull up that way. If you want to, if you're not watching this live, it's twitch.tv/AlteredConfusion every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to go old school and go to the website, it's www.AlteredConfusion.com, or you can just do what everyone does. Go to google.com, type in Altered Confusion, and it'll take you there. And of course, if you want to follow us on Twitter, all you got to do is go at AlteredConfusio. That's Altered Confusion without the N, because the N would break the internet. Okay, so getting back into the conversation. Sam Grizzle, last time I will ever bother you with this question, checked out The Long Dark yet? I'm still waiting on your review. Yes, I checked out The Long Dark, and I'm going to say I will not be reviewing that game because after 20 minutes and dying of dehydration, I gave the game a double finger salute and will never play that game again because I'm okay with survival games. But when you make me have to worry about my body temperature, my hunger, my hydration level, and all those itty bitty little intricate things, I can't do it. That's way too much. That's too much stress. Holy shit, that's too much stress. All right, so first of all, I'm going to tell you this. I will not be going back to the game. But I could not figure out how to scoop snow into the can to make it water. I put several fucking cans on top of the snow, and I've also put several fucking cans next to the fire. But I couldn't get any of the snow in the can. So F that shit, I'm playing a different game because okay. Andy, what was I talking about before? Oh yeah, let's see. We did the Twitch, we did the YouTube, we did Facebook. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I do know that Extra Life has ended. Of course, if you want more information about Extra Life, you can go to extra-life.org. But Extra Life is it's something that's run through the Children's Miracle Network Hospital. Yeah, Children's Miracle Network hospitals. There are hospitals all over the place that are affiliates of this. And, of course, Altered Confusion, for 7 years straight, my friends, has been raising money for Children's Healthcare Atlanta. I, of course, went through that system. My siblings have, and my children have. So I want to support them as much as possible. Currently, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the video version, you'll notice that in the top, left-hand corner, you'll see that currently I have raised $460. My initial goal was $250. You, of course, can continue to donate. If you want to donate to Altered Confusion, of course, by all means do that. If you have another friend or group that you want to donate to, absolutely you could donate to it. Even though the 24-hour Game-a-thon is over, you could still pledge money. Many of you know that I did not do the official date, which of course was this past weekend. I did the previous weekend simply because I am also an ordained minister and I was performing a wedding, so I wasn't able to do it this past weekend. So Extra Life, phenomenal cause, 7 years running. I've gotten the t-shirt every single year. I don't know if I still have all the t-shirts, but I do have Well, I had it. I don't know where that. Oh, there it is. Here, I'll show you what this year's T-shirt looks like. Because it is the 10th year that Extra Life has been in existence. It is the big 10 anniversary T-shirt, which means that I have 70% of the Extra Lives I've played it, and I've survived every single time 24 hours. Well, a couple times 25 hours because of that fucking time change. That shit needs to go away. I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. Time change, go away. We don't need any more. Farmers don't need it. Because that's what it's for. Power to the people. Love you, farmers. But I don't think even you give a shit about the daylight savings time at this point. Or it might just be me. Who knows? I do have... I just remembered something about capers. I'm going to try to pull this up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not. But so... You know me, I'm a huge supporter of Nerdburger games. And because of that fact, I always donate just a wee bit more so that I can get my likeness somewhere in the book. And so, let's see if I can find it. I do have... So there I am. I am trying to say the secret password to get me in, but I love it. I love it. So seriously, if you have the ability, please support his cartoon Chuck. Yes. I wonder if I could find. I have the image somewhere from Mergers and Acquisitions, but I can't remember where I have it stored. I'll have to find it after the show. But speaking of Altered Confusion stuff, I cannot forget to talk about Patreon. Patreon, of course, is a website system that allows for you, the patrons, the fans, the lovers of Altered Confusion, to donate, do a monthly donation towards Altered Confusion. That money that you donate to Altered Confusion then helps us with the upkeep of the equipment, as well as allows us to go to conventions. I am trying to figure out a way to revamp the different levels, because right now there's only one level, I think, or maybe two levels on the Patreon page. And I would like to, find something that would be fun for Altered Confusion to do to give back to y'all. I know that there has been discussions of having like guest hosts on the show. I would love to have guest hosts on the show, even remote guest hosts. The problem, of course, is can my computer handle that? That has been a huge issue. That's one of the reasons why I can't do Skype interviews with individuals, because when I'm trying to record and do it Skype at the same time, it's just a brick. So if I could find an easy way to do that, I would love to do it. Maybe I can only do an audio version. I've got to play around with it. I know I've been saying this for a while now, I'm still trying to figure out how to do an Altered Confusion t-shirt. We need an absolute revamp. The t-shirts that I have are literally falling apart, and I need to do that. And I know I've been promising for a while, trying to figure out a way to get the Altered Confusion webcomic into kind of like an omnibus, basically a collection, and a hardback collection. Not, of course, it's capers, but basically something like this. There's over 400 webcomics between two different storylines and then some other random stuff. I want to put it in a book, and once I figure out how the hell I'm going to do that, there's a lot of projects I have in mind for Altered Confusion. I need to actually make it happen. So if I can, then there you go. And Sam, I will figure out a way to make an Altered Confusion t-shirt, and I will find a way to get one to you, sir. Now, let me think about this. If you want to see Altered Confusion in person, if you're not in the Atlanta area, it's a little bit more complicated to see Altered Confusion. However, put my face and Zelius' face on it. That would be interesting. And I would actually, you know what? I got to think of a design. Do I want to keep with the original or do I want to change it? We'll have to see about that. Anyways, if you want to see Alter Confusion live and in person, we are currently locked into two conventions. The first one is at the end of January. That is Chattacon up in Chattanooga. The second one, of course, is going to be MomoCon. MomoCon is in Atlanta. I believe it's at the end of May. I don't remember how many times we've been to MomoCon, but we'll have a fan table. We've submitted panels, and of course, I will be media there as well. In MomoCon, you might see me, Zelius, potentially Jesse, maybe even Jason. I'm not exactly sure. For Chattacon, it's me, and I don't know who the other person is, but we'll be giving 3 panels. The panels are Video Games Today, the Alter Confusion Hangout, because we're not going to be broadcasting on Thursday, so it's probably going to be a Friday Hangout. Put Jesse and Jason's face on the back. Okay, we're getting a little. We'll see. We'll see. And of course, the last one we'll be doing at Chattacon is The Destruction of the Game Industry as We Know It, which of course is way too long of a title. So the vast majority of the conventions we've been to have basically shortened it to Destruction of the Game Industry, which brings a lot of people who are all hot and bothered by us blaspheming the fact that the video game industry is going away. But if they allowed us to give the entire title, which of course is The Destruction of the Game Industry as We Know It, you would know that, of course, we are in an evolution for games. How games are delivered to you, how you play the games, the basically death of console exclusive games, unless you're talking about an in-house studio or a studio that has an exclusive contract with you for specific titles. But yeah, I mean, that's really our deal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention. I guess real quick, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in to this Thursday Night Hangout. I know that it's a little different without having a cohort with me, but I hope that you have enjoyed my ramblings. Yeah. I think I've run out of things to say. How weird is that? Charlie is speechless. What? Oh my God. So I guess basically all I can tell you right now, don't forget, World Chess Championship starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. Is that Eastern Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time, or is that the Meridian Time, or what time is this happening? Eastern Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way I like it. I like the Eastern Standard Time because then I don't have to do any math in my head because I am in the Eastern Standard Time, and that makes shit easy for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to tune into anything that's Alter Confusion, I know that this week has been a little bit weird. I didn't do any broadcasting on Sunday night because I was finishing up a wedding on Sunday night, and then Tuesday I did not stream because I was at one of the election headquarters for a candidate for the midterm elections. But going forward, I should be back on track. So that means that game streaming will happen on Sundays and Tuesdays from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are chances where I might game outside of those hours. But in order to do that, you need to turn on you need to like our channel on Twitch, and then you need to do additional steps to make sure that your notifications are turned on so that when Alter Confusion goes live that you get notified. Because for some reason, Twitch decided to default to no one getting the notifications or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but whatever. And then, of course, the Thursday Night Hangout, which is every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It usually goes from 8 p.m. to 9:15. That's not 100% my choice. I would love to be able to continue to do the Thursday Night Hangout for as long as possible, but my co-hosts do have some time regulations, especially since the Alter Confusion studio is in my basement, so I don't have to go anywhere. I can literally just walk in the door and be here. No, there is a Thursday night hangout. There's. Why would there not be? There's a Thursday night hangout next week. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying that I would love for the Thursday. I would love the ability to have a more flexible ending to it. Yes, of course. We've always done the show for an hour and 15 minutes, which I'm not exactly sure why we've done that way. I'm not 100% sure. Whatever. But I would love the ability to maybe stretch out certain Thursday night hangouts if the conversations are good or if the topics are really, in depth and it's really getting a lot of audience back and forth. But of course, right now, because of time restrictions on the co-host part, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but basically, I could keep going until I could do the 8 to 11 slot if I so desired. But with them having to travel here, it does make more sense to have a shorter show. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and no one else because everyone else is sick, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the near future for all of the streams and Thursday Night Hangouts. Now, of course, tell your friends, and do not be shy about submitting topics, questions, or if you just want to have a conversation outside of the Thursday Night Hangout, just hit us up through any of the social media means. It all goes to me, and we can start a dialogue that way. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I'll see you soon.